Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Chris here. We are going to be breaking down the Eastern Conference for the 2025-2026 season. We're going to go through each team, kind of break down what has changed, what's the same, what's going to work, you know, as a non-DFS and DFS standpoint. We're going to look at both aspects of it as well. So, like I said, if you guys are new here, welcome. I have been doing NBA FanDuel DFS and DraftKings DFS since 2014, since I kind of broke in. I am a two-time 100K champion, one on FanDuel and one on DraftKings. Like I said, we do have our screenshots and everything. If you guys ever want to check us out, we are on our Twitter. Twitter will be in the comment section below. Check us out. That's where we post all of our updates if you guys are new. But yeah, I've been playing college basketball as well, but NBA is definitely the main one. And like I said, been doing this for a while, and I've won quite a bit of money. And like I said, we've had a lot of our subscribers won a ton of money as well. Um, over $10,000 to $15,000. Some of our subscribers have won, and in a one calendar year with our NBA. So, if you guys are interested, we'd love to have you. Like I said, we're going to be doing NBA FanDuel lineup advice videos every single day for you guys once NBA is coming around. We're breaking down FanDuel. We're also going to be doing price picks. We're going to be doing that a lot more this time around, breaking down price picks. Going to be doing premium price picks because last year when I was just messing around with price picks NBA, it was pretty solid. So, um, but yeah, if you guys are interested in the NBA season package, we do have that. It's going to include FanDuel and Price Picks. If you guys want that, it's going to be 145 for the entire season. And once the regular season starts, it's going to go up to 180. It's a lot cheaper than what we've had in the past. So trying to give back a little bit. In the past, we were up to 300 to 325 for a season, but this time around, we're going to give back a little bit to you guys. And we don't have our monthly pass available yet, but like I said, we do have our season pass on sale, and that will be available until the 1st of October. And the reason why I am only giving it about 2 weeks is because October 1st is the first day of NBA preseason, so season pass will include preseason as well in the first two rounds of the playoffs. If you guys want to get in on that, check us out on our Twitter. We'll be in the comment section below. That being said, we're going to go look at the Eastern Conference. A lot of stuff is going to probably shake up this year with the injuries, the big injuries, and we'll talk about those. And also, the Eastern Conference seemed like the conference that was the most willing to trade and change some stuff up because they kind of knew, what was going on. So these are the most up to date rosters that I have found. If a couple of these are messed up, like I said, blame CBS. I'm just joking, but this is where I found the most updated roster. So hopefully everything on here is good. If you see one or things that are off, like I said, I apologize. It's CBS. So we'll get into it here. So for the Atlanta Hawks, we have Trey Young, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Porzingis, and Akunwa. So the other thing is we're still about a month and a half away from the NBA season, so some of these guys are going to have injuries. I don't know what all these guys are injuries are right now, so I do know a couple of them, but some of them are just little injuries, so they don't matter much. But we'll talk about a couple that mean something. And if I do miss any major injuries, please let me know because there's a ton of players. As you know. So we got Young, Daniels, Johnson, Porzingis, and Akunwa. So noticeable. Looks like Capella's going to be the main one that's gone out of here. We'll have to see how this goes. If you guys remember, Porzingis was really it at the end of the season. He got like a long sickness. Some people, just think that he's just not feeling good, not doing good anymore. He's not really at the end of the NBA season for Boston. He was only playing 18, 20 minutes. Just couldn't really stay out there on the court. So that's the big thing with me with Kit Staff Porzingis. How's he going to start? I mean, DFS wise, if he starts playing 30, 35 minutes, probably play as much as you can because, as we know, he usually starts getting injured halfway through the season. So that's the big thing with Porzingis. I do think Jalen Johnson really starts and comes alive here. I think he starts taking care of this offense. I know Young's there, but it's going to be Jalen Johnson's team here in a little bit. Dyson Daniels is going to be a solid shooting guard like normal. They did go and pick up Luke Kennard and Nikhil Alexander Walker. Those are really good depth to have, and I think that's a good for them. Got a 3-point shooter in Kennard off the bench, and then Alexander Walker, sorry, good guy, off the bench that can get you a couple points, aggressive, and also can get you a couple assists as well. So as on paper, it looks like Zach Rashar, like I said, I still don't know how to say some of these guys' names. It looks like he's going to be maybe on the bench to start the year. We'll see what they do. But like I said, he was the first round pick, I think, last year, year before. He was iffy last year. Had a couple good games, but obviously Jalen Johnson's better. If he was so good, they wouldn't have went and got Kitsap Porzingis and leave Jalen Johnson at power forward. But I do like to switch to small forward for Jalen. Porzingis, like I said, I'm worried about how much he can stay healthy. But then over here, I really do like a Conwu. I think he's in a good spot. I think there's going to be no Capella really weighing him down. Mohamed Gay, I'm not really worried about him. He's more of a backup power forward. And besides that, they don't really have anybody. So I think Akonwu's going to have a breakout year. I really do. I think this is going to be one of the better years for him. I could see a double double for him. I just think this is his year, and he's, as we know, a really good block guy as well. He was split in time last year, so if he's getting me 30, 35 minutes, I'm definitely looking at Conwu and a really good Trey Young or even Jalen Johnson's out, especially Johnson, because Johnson likes to pick and rebound. So the Atlanta Hawks, they finished ninth. I'm not really going to predict too much, but I could see them anywhere from sixth to fifth to seventh, maybe if everything stays all right. I see them getting about 40, 44 to 46 wins this year. Slight improvement. Maybe a couple more, like I said, with what's going on with the Pacers and especially the Celtics. Maybe they can make their way up to fourth, but still, like I said, it's going to be not a bad year for the Hawks. I think next year will really be the year, especially with Jalen Johnson. But this year's going to be the year that we're going to see him really break out. So, all right, moving on. We got Boston Celtics, my team. Oh man, we're gonna suck. We're gonna suck for a little bit. So as we know, we do got Jalen Brown is recovering from injury. He should be ready by the start of the season or around there. As we know, Tatum's going to be out for the year. So let's go look at the starting lineup. We got Derek White, we got Simmons, Brown, Sam Hauser, and Queta. Uh, so it's going to be an interesting one. As our point guards, we got Peyton Pritchard, shooting guard Baylor, Sam Hauser, Xavier Tillman, kind of there. So looking at this here, I really think Derek White should break out. I think he's going to be more aggressive on the offense. We already saw him being more aggressive in the in the playoffs, and I think he really breaks out here. I think it's going to be a good year. Peyton Pritchard, we'll have to see. I think he kind of stays the same role, maybe a little bit more, depending on what's going on with Simons. Simons, as we know, just mostly a usage guy, doesn't really do much in the assist category. So, still like Derek White to have a really good year. Jalen Brown, I think it's going to be about a normal year for him. He's just kind of getting slightly past his prime. He's still there, but we know what he can do. I'm going to be intrigued what they do at the power forward position. Sam Hauser's really not a good power forward. He's more of a shooting guard hybrid. Small forward hybrid, more of a three-point shooter. We're going to have to see what they do. I mean, Chris Boucher, he hasn't really played a ton. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm intrigued to see what minutes are they going to play him 20, 18 to 20 like the Raptors, or are they going to go push this dude 25, 30 minutes? Because if they push Chris Boucher, I can see him averaging about, anywhere from 11 to 13 points a game. He's a good three-point shooter, likes to shoot out on the three-pointer, and I like him. Moving on to Queta, I think this could be a half decent spot for him if he starts and maintains it. We saw him play a little bit last year. Going to be more of a 6 points, 8, 9 rebounds, maybe 2, 3 blocks. Might get you a 11 or 11 point, 14 rebound game here and there. But I think he's an all right play. We'll have to see what's going on with Garza. Garza could, if he plays, could be a half decent option as well. But for the most part, I expect him to definitely fall a little bit, maybe seventh or eighth. Maybe they can finish sixth, but yeah, Derek White's gonna have to prove it here, and then I'm intrigued to see what they do with Chris Boucher and then Akeda as well. Are kind of who I'm looking at here for my Boston team. So it's going to be a slight down year for him. All right, Brooklyn Nets. What in the absolute heck is going on with this roster? I looked at this earlier, and I don't know. So we have Nolan. I don't know how to say these guys' names. We're gonna go Nolan T as of now, the point guard. We're not gonna know until they fight stuff out, in the preseason. And we got Ben Sarif as well. I think these are the two young dudes that are gonna be fighting. I don't know. Nolan looks like he played some summer league. I think he averaged like 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, something like that. So he's still developing. 14, I think 14% from the 3 point land, if I read that correctly in the summer league. So he has a lot to do. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they go Terrence Mann as a point guard, shooting guard hybrid, mix him in there with Cam Thomas. They did go pick up Kobe Buffkin, a former first round pick from the Hawks, and maybe they go put him in there as their point guard because our guy at Nolan and Ben ain't going to do it. So maybe Kobe is going to be it. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Cam Thomas, I think, should lead this team. I mean, his usage rate should be around 25 to 28% this year. Michael Porter, this is just his career's done, in my opinion. The fact that you get sent over to Brooklyn, you're done. Um, I don't have any hopes for Porter. He might be a half decent play, probably average about 27 to 30 fantasy points a game, but I think he's just there, to be honest with you. Claxton should be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if Claxton contract is, but he's older. People could use him. Sharp could be all right if he starts, but yeah, this roster sucks. To be honest with you, it's terrible. I mean, they got Haywood Highsmith. I mean, Highsmith. I mean, if that tells you anything, Terrence Mann maybe could be an all right option, but I don't know. Just wasn't that great over there in LA. So we'll see. We'll see. This roster's not great, but Cam Thomas usage rate should be massive. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be. All right, moving on over here to Charlotte. So I do know they are missing. Like I said, I'll have to bring up his name. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. Con Nupel. I think that's how you say it. They are missing him, so he should be the small forward. So he's going to be probably the main one. We got Ball, Millard, and then Nupel, as I mentioned, Bridges, and Mason Plumlee. So second team, they got Trey Mann, Sexton, Josh Green, Grant Williams, and Debate. So we'll have to see what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they start Mason Plumlee and play him 18 to 20 minutes, and then Mason Diabate plays anywhere from 21 to 24, kind of what they did last year. Lamella Ball, like I said, I don't know what these guys' injuries are, but I think Ball's out for a little bit, or he's in. I'm not sure. I'm not going to comment too much, but if everything's well, like I said, Ball, Miller, they're all right. If Ball is ever out or Miller's out, Sexton's probably going to pick up a lot of usage rate. Same thing as Trey Mann. Um, Miles Bridges, not too bad. He's kind of getting up there a little bit basketball age wise, and it's up there in Diabate. So I expect him to be just kind of, probably about 20, 25 to 30 win team, if that at max, and that's really it from them. So I don't really have much to say. Nuppel, or however you say his name, I am very intrigued to see how he does in this rookie season. Chicago Bulls, we got Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Somnu, Bazulius, and Vuk. And then second team, we got Trey Jones, Herder, Okoro, Williams, and Zach Collins. So not much has really changed from these guys. Too much. They did get rid of their veterans, as we know, last year. So looking at it on paper, I think Bazulius, he's going to be the main guy to really look at. Hopefully, he has a breakout year. I could see Vuk still playing normal minutes. Who knows if they trade him? He's getting up there in age, but Bazulius is who I'm really intrigued by. Desamnu is just Kobe White, and Giddy are really going to lead this team, and I think Kobe White picks up where he was last at the end of last season. So, um, besides that, I don't really have much going on for this team. Jalen Smith, but he doesn't really get much run. So I think once again they're just going to be probably about what they were last year, 40 win team, maybe 37. I just don't expect a ton. Maybe Vuk gets traded, we'll see. But for the most part, I expect this to be a normal team. They don't have Ball, but he didn't really do much for him anyway. So we're going to be moving on to Cleveland Cavs. Um, so Garland, I think, is the one who's supposed to be out a little bit. If I heard correctly, like I said, if somebody was out, I think it was Garland. But anyway, you got Lonzo. Yeah, so it was Garland that might be out for several weeks starting the season. So Lonzo Ball, if he's healthy, he's probably going to be the main guy. Then we're probably going to have Craig Porter Jr. if he's healthy. I don't know what's going on with him, but um, so we'll see what. But Mitchell's probably going to play a ton of minutes. Sam Merrill's going to play probably around 15 to 17. Then you got Hunter, Mobley, Allen. So not much has changed. I do like the addition of Larry Nance. I think that's going to be a good backup for Jared Allen. Um, Besides that, there's not too much that I really care about. Max Struess is there. They do. Ty Jerome is one of the guys that has left, so he's not the backup anymore. It's going to be Lonzo. So if Garland misses, Ball's going to have to, come back a little bit. Max Strauss as well. It's going to have to play a little bit of shooting guard, um, hybrid point guard, and then obviously Craig Porter Jr. I think they should give him more time. I think Craig Porter Jr. is a half decent player, to be honest with you. Then you got Mitchell Hunter. So yeah, normal team here for Cleveland. I think they're going to be fine. They're just going to have to deal with that Garland a little bit, but that's kind of what they did last year. So I expect them to be first or second in the division. I mean, in the conference again. All right, we're gonna go look. Like I said, we're doing Eastern Conference, and then we're gonna do Western Conference tomorrow or the next day for you guys. Moving on to the Detroit Pistons. We got Kid Cunningham, Ivy, Azor Thompson, Harris, and Jalen Duran. And then second team, we got Sasser, Levert, Duncan Robertson, Holland, and Stewart. So, I get last year 44. I think they'll probably have about 41 to 43 wins. So maybe about the same. I just don't see that they did a ton. I mean, Levert is going to be a half decent, option to go to off the bench. Duncan Robertson, in my opinion, sucks. He'll have a couple good games, but I really think Azor Thompson needs to do something this year. If he doesn't do anything offensively this year, in my opinion, if I was the Pistons, I'd get rid of this dude. He's had a couple years. He hasn't done anything. He's had high expectations like his brother. His brother's doing good. Thompson's not. Azor is not. So we'll see. We'll see. It's just a make or break it year for Thompson to me. He needs to step it up on the offense. Tobias Harris is just Tobias Harris going to get you 12 to 15 points a game. Ron Holland will be all right backup, and then so you got Jalen Durant, Stewart, and Paul Reed, pretty solid centers down there. So I don't expect anything really different from this team. Expect Cade to still be good. Sasser, if Ivy ever gets hurt, I think Sasser could be a pretty good backup for sure. So, but not much has changed for the Pistons. All right, moving on to Indiana, and as we know, this is one of the teams that have an injury, and that's Mr. Halberton, and he's going to be out for the year. So. Starters as of CBS Sports, we got Nimbard, Matherin, Aaron Neesmith, Siakam, and Jay Huff. So for me, I don't like that. I think what they could do here because I don't think they want. I think, in my opinion, Tony Bradley is more of your generic Jay Huff. Tony Bradley's going to get it done in the not really a great shooter, but he's going to get it done. Bigger body than Jay Huff. Jay Huff is more of your 3-point shooter. He played for the Lakers for a little bit. Guy, he's not a bad defense player, but he's not the biggest dude. I know he's tall, but Tony Bradley for me is more of the regular center. So if I had to pick, I would say they go Tony Bradley at the center, but we'll see what they do. Or they could always go Siakam at center and go Toppin, but I don't think they do that. Toppin's too good off the bench. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, McConnell I think is going to get about the same run as he did last year. Benedict Matherin's kind of a make or break it year for him. He kind of got snubbed on the bench quite a bit at the end of the year. They just didn't play him much. So he's going to have to show that he can shoot the ball and be a productive player. If not, Ben Shepherd's probably going to take over for him, but he's not that great either. Aaron Neesmith, I think Neesmith is going to have a good year. I think he's really going to step up. And we saw what he did in the playoffs. He's a pretty dang good player. Turned into a good player coming over from the Celtics a while ago. He's a good 3-point shooter and a half decent defensive player. Needs to work on his turnovers, but I do like Aaron Neesmith to kind of step up this year. Siakam, I think he'll be about normal. Pretty good usage rate around 23-25%. But I think for me, Benedict Mathurin really has to step up. Nembard's going to be a good, probably 12 to 14 points a game, anywhere from 7 to 8 assists is what he's going to average. So I don't mind Pacers. I still think they make the playoffs, but probably more of a, at the 7th or 8th place, in my opinion, if they just kind of play, normal. All right, moving on to the Miami Heat. Heat could be a half decent team this year. Like I said, Boston is kind of hurt a little bit, so didn't really do good last year. 37 to 45. They don't have Jimmy Butler, but looks like we got Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Ware. Then our second team is Mitchell, Rozier, Jamie Jaquez, Jovic, and Lil Bam's the backup center. So I think for me, I'm intrigued to see what Davian Mitchell does this. We saw him absolutely pop. They helped out quite a bit for Miami and gave him a little bit of a run. So we'll see what he does this year. Hero, I think he's going to be normal. Powell's going to, I think, be about normal like he was over there in LA. But I think from a DFS perspective, I'm not really a fan of this team because all these guys like to shoot the ball. Hero's usage rate's high, Powell's usage rate, Wiggins, Bam, they all like to shoot. They all want the ball. Um, I'm really intrigued to see what they do with Ware this year. I was really just ticked off a lot last year by Ware. Um, yes, he looked shut down for summer. This is what I'm saying about this dude. I think once again it's a break. Make it a break it year for Ware. Like I know he's young, but like we're getting some Hassan Whiteside treatment with this dude. He plays like 5 minutes and then doesn't play the rest of the half, and then plays 5 minutes in the second half. It sucked. You guys probably got screwed by him last year. And I really think Nikola Jovic. I think what they should do: start Jovic, go to Bam, get rid of Ware because they're just screwing Ware over like they did Whiteside, in my opinion. If you're going to play Ware, play him. Play him 25, 30, 35 minutes. Play the kid. I don't know if he has a stamina, issue or what, but play him. It was so frustrating last year. And it was frustrating because they played him 25, 30 minutes and he popped off. And then they played him for like 15. Just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So, but I think Miami with the Powell move, I think they're going to be, a solid team, probably around 40, 43 to 44 wins. I see a lot of teams kind of in the middle for the Eastern Conference. All right, moving on. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit longer video. Moving on to the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh man, this lineup looks weird. We've got Kevin Porter, Gary Trent, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, and Miles Turner. So if I was being the coach, and I'm obviously not, I would go Cole Anthony, Kevin Porter. But they like Kevin Porter more of a ball handler because he's not the greatest shooter. Or you can go Cole Anthony, Porter, swap them. But Cole Anthony, I think for the Bucks, it's going to be a good acquisition here. It just depends on how they play him. I like the acquisition. I just don't think Gary Trent's going to be the main starter for Milwaukee. If they are, Cole Anthony's going to be playing 25 at least minutes off the bench. So I do like the acquisition of him. They got Gary Harris as well, so they just got a whole bunch of old people. Kevin Porter could have a half decent year. Kuzma is just Kuzma. I can't even say anything about that. And then Giannis, I feel bad for the dude, but here he is with all these young kids. And then we got Miles Turner. I just don't get it for Milwaukee. I don't. Um, I mean, I think if it was me, I would have went and got a shooting guard. I mean, look, you have Bobby Portis, you got Sims. I get they're not the greatest, but go get a cheaper center. You didn't need to go get Turner, in my opinion. You needed to go get a shooting guard because you got Gary Trent and Green, and that's just not going to get it done. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, Turner, I get it. It's a good acquisition, but I just hope that the shooting guard, point guard area can really hold up for the Bucks because that's their weakness right now. All right, moving down the list to the New York Knicks. Not much really changed for these guys. I mean, I think there should be first or second, to be honest with you. Um, we got Brunson, Bridges, Hart, OG, and Towns, and then we got picked up Clark's Ellie. So, honestly, I think their bench is pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of Miles McBride as kind of the backup shooting guard that can, get a lot of usage off the bench, and it's going to help out with, the absence of Brunson for a couple minutes. But yeah, Yabusele, I think, is a good power forward center backup. And Mitchell Robertson, like I said, I think they should trade him because he's a good look. I get it, he's a really good backup, but he should be starting. I know his injuries, and I get this, but if I was Robertson, I'd want out of there. That's just me, and I'd go play somewhere I can get minutes. But overall, this team is freaking stacked. Um, yeah, it's just a good team. It really is a good team. I like it, and I think they should be, like I said, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference for obvious reasons. All right, moving down to the Orlando Magic. So the Magic actually made a half decent little splash in the offseason when it got Desmond Bain. So we got Suggs, Bain, Wagner, Paulovic, Carroll, and Wendell Carter as our top five. We got Black as the backup. Point guard, a hopefully improved Tristan da Silva, Jonathan Isaac, battling injuries his entire life, um, and then we got Goga Mataze as the center as well. So I don't mind this team. I do think, like I said, having Anthony Gaughan's going to hurt in the shooting guard backup department. Bain, I think, is a good acquisition, but interesting one because, in my opinion, Bain, like I said, not a bad defender, but you already got Wagner and Paulo Banchero. You already have some big usage guys, and you go get Desmond Bain. He is going to shoot 17 to 20 times a game. That's what he's going to do. Is he the most accurate dude? Heck no, he's not. But then he can. I don't mind it, but also Magic plays slower, and Desmond Bain is a fast player. That's what he is. So I'm intrigued. Are Magic going to slow down? Are they going to play fast? I don't know. So I'm a little mixed on the Bane. I think it's a good pickup, for shooting wise, but you just don't have really a backup point guard. Anthony Black, shooting guard. You got Black and Tyus Jones. I get that, but I'm just looking for a scorer off the bench, and they're not really the main guys. So struggle with foul trouble as well. You got Jet Howard, maybe you can start putting him in there, but I don't know. So I do like the acquisition of Bane, but if he's off, and getting, all these extra shots, and Wagner and Paulo aren't getting these shots because Bane's trying to come out of a funk, it's going to suck for Wagner and Paulo. So I don't know. I just know Bane likes to shoot the ball and he wants to shoot. And in my opinion, I don't know, him with John Moran, it was just interesting. And I don't know. I just think it's going to be kind of the same ish problem over here with the Magic. So are they improved? Yes, I think they are by about 2 or 3 games. I think they'll still probably finish fifth or sixth, but I still think they're a good team. But like I said, the Bane one's interesting. High usage guy that likes to just shoot the ball all over the place. Yes, I know it's going to help out, you know, for sure, but just lacking a little bit in the shooting guard department, in my opinion. All right, 76ers. As long as these dudes aren't hurt and everybody's good, then they should be good. I don't know what's going on with Embiid, so I don't know if he's hurt. I didn't look into Maxey, so I'm not sure in Embiid. I mean Paul George. Assuming these guys are all healthy to start the year, obviously it's good. I don't know what the injuries are. I don't know who's going to start, who's not going to play. Um, they should finish, third or fourth. Are they going to? I don't know. Really much people get Trendon Watford. He's a half decent acquisition. Jabari Walker over from Portland. He's okay. But besides that, this is an aging team. They got a good team, but they're aging. As we know, they've been aging for a couple years. Um, I do think if Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey, if they're all healthy, it does hurt Quentin Grimes a little bit on the DFS standpoint. But I still think overall this is a good team. If they stay healthy, well, it's going to kind of end up what it was last year and just booty. So, um, yeah, if they stay healthy, they're good. If they don't stay healthy, they don't have a good enough bench to really help out. So that's the big thing with the 76ers. But I do expect them to be a lot more improved. Like I said, if they're healthy. Keyword. All right, moving on to, I think, Toronto Raptors. Now, this team here, I think this team, if they once again stay healthy, this team could finish anywhere from third to fifth in the Western Conference. I mean, in the Eastern Conference. I think they quickly. We got R.J. Barrett. We got the acquisition of Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jacob Poeltl. Grady Dick and Jamal Shed were half decent in the year. They had a lot of improvement, especially Mogo Mongo. He's not an offensive guy, but he is a pretty good defensive player. He's under a shorter guy. Picked him up over from the Spurs. Not a bad pickup. And AJ lost another guy that can also play a little bit. So I don't mind this team. Jacoby Walter as well, another good player um, coming off the bench. So I think they got some young guys, but I like them. I do. I think Raptors could finish pretty solid. I mean, Quickly is a really good player. R.J. Barrett is obviously good. Ingram, Barnes, and Jacob Poeltl. I mean, they all know their spot and they're all good at what they do. So I'm a little bit higher maybe on than some on the Raptors. I think ideally they're probably finishing anywhere from 5 to 7th, but I could see them maybe reaching fourth. But I do think this is going to be an improved Raptor team, especially with the divisions. I mean, everybody kind of, having some injuries to start the year. All right, last team we're going to go look at here in the Eastern Conference is the Washington um, Wizards here. So Poole's not there anymore, sad face, but I don't know what's going on with the Wizards. I don't know really what their game plan is. They got a lot of young guys that could really, but then they go and get older dudes like McCollum. They still got, I don't know. So basically, I think Carrington, if he's healthy, I don't know what's going on with him. Um, but if he's all healthy to start the year, I think Carrington's probably going to have a really good start to the year. You got Malachi Graham as well. I think another half decent play if some of these guys are injured. Good acquisition here, Cam Whitmore. I'm just surprised by the McCollum one. I think Whitmore should be starting for an NBA team, but if McCollum or Middleton are ever out, Cam Whitmore DFS wise, we know what he can do, and he's going to be a good acquisition. Keyshawn George is all right. Kalabali's probably going to have a little bit better year, and then Alex Sarr, hopefully they're expecting a lot. But overall, I don't think this team is going to be great. Um, well, how many wins they get last year? 18. I think they probably get about 24 to 26 this year, but just not expecting a lot. A lot of injuries. You know, McCollum can get hurt. Middleton gets hurt a lot, and then you're stuck with just what you had last year. So Cam Whitmore should be, like I said, a good acquisition. Kalabali, I don't mind him as well, and like I said, Sarr should be a pretty good acquisition as well. I mean, sorry, he's already been there before, but should have a better season this year. So that's kind of what we got going on. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the Eastern Conference breakdown. If there's anything I missed, please let me know. If the rosters are messed up, I apologize. This is what CBS was giving me. So, um, but yeah, if there's any teams that you think are going to be better or worse than what I said, let me know. I would love to start conversations with you guys down there in the comment section below. And like I said, we do have our premium for our NBA season, and like I said, that offer will end on the first. And like I said, you get the entire NBA season, the first two rounds of the playoffs, and the NBA preseason, all included. So we'd love to have you come join us. Like I said, our Twitter will be in the comment section below if you guys are new. You know, it has our $100,000 win. It shows all of our, a lot of our wins, kind of stuff that we do. So if you want to check us more out on Twitter, that's the best way to learn more about us. And message us on Twitter. Say, hey, we'd love to get in on Season Pass, or if you guys are intrigued, let me know. And we'd love to have you and give us a follow while you're there. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. It was 30-minute video, so leave a like button. And I appreciate it. So like I said, guys, you guys can spark up a discussion if you want to, and in the comment section, and we'll see how everything goes. Who did I miss on? Who am I right on? Who you think's going to be better? And like I said, we're going to do the Western Conference either tomorrow or Thursday, or it's going to be Friday. So, all right, once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.